Dear children, I welcome you all to our story and rhyme time. Let's start with some action. Are you all ready? Yes? Fly like an eagle, fly, fly, fly. Stomp like an elephant, stomp, stomp, stomp. Swing like a monkey, swing, swing, swing. Children, did you ever see a bunny who likes to hop? Yes? Then sing along. Did you ever see a bunny, a bunny, a bunny? Did you ever see a bunny that hops so slow? He hops and hops and hops and hops. Did you ever see a bunny that hops so slow? Did you ever see a bunny, a bunny, a bunny? Did you ever see a bunny that hops on one foot? He hops and hops and hops and hops. Did you ever see a bunny that hops on one foot? Did you ever see a bunny, a bunny, a bunny? Did you ever see a bunny that hops so fast? He hops and hops and hops and hops. Did you ever see a bunny that hops so fast? Yes. Children, did you all enjoy? Now children, let's listen to a beautiful story of a cute little girl. Yes. She likes to wear a red coat, a hood. So everyone called her Little Red Riding Hood. Yes, children, our story name is The Little Red Riding Hood. The Little Red Riding Hood lived in a village which was near to a big forest. She lived with her mama. And at the other end of the forest, Little Red Riding Hood's grandma lived. Little Red Riding Hood's grandma was living alone in a small cottage. One day, Little Red Riding Hood thought to visit her grandma. So, she went to her mama and asked for the permission. Mama, I want to visit grandma. Can I go and meet her? Then Mama said, yes, my dear, I will give some cookies to grandma too. But you must be very careful while going through the forest. Should not talk to any strangers on the way to grandma's house. And you should not wander in the woods. Then Little Red Riding Hood said, yes, Mama, I will be very careful. Then Little Red Riding Hood's mama gave some cookies in the basket and said, please give this to your grandma. This is your grandma's favorite things. And remember what I said. What did the mother, Little Red Riding Hood's mother said, children, should not talk to any strangers on the way to grandma's house and should not wander in the woods. Then Little Red Riding Hood replied that, I will remember, Mama. Goodbye. Then Little Red Riding Hood started her journey to grandma's house. It was a bright morning, so she enjoyed her walk through the forest. At that time, who came near to her, you know? A bad wolf. He then asked to Little Red Riding Hood, where are you going, little girl? At that time, the Little Red Riding Hood forgot what her mama said. Little Red Riding Hood said that, I am going to my grandma's home She lives at the other end of the forest. She stays alone in a small cottage. Then the bad wolf learned that where this little girl is going. He learned that Little Red Riding Hood is going to her grandma's house. So, if I reach there, I can eat both of them, Little Red Riding Hood's grandma and this Little Red Riding Hood also. So, the bad wolf ran fast and reached grandma's home. He rushed into grandma's house and locked the grandma in a cupboard. And he dressed up like a grandma and laid on the bed. Can you all see, children? The wolf dressed up like grandma and laid on the bed. After a while, the Little Red Riding Hood reached grandma's home and knocked at the door. After a while, Little Red Riding Hood reached grandma's home. She knocked at the door. Then the wolf, who dressed up like grandma, changed his voice and said, "Come in." When Little Red Riding Hood entered grandma's house, she saw grandma lying on the bed. Then Little Red Riding Hood said, "Hi grandma, it's me." But she went very close to grandma. She felt something very strange. She asked grandma, "Oh grandma, what a big ears you have." Then the wolf replied, "I have big ears to hear you better, my dear." Then Little Red Riding Hood went closer to grandma. Then Little Red Riding Hood said, "Oh grandma, what a big eyes you have." The wolf was very hungry, so he thought of doing some trick. He said, "I have big eye to see you better, my dear. Come closer." At that time, the Little Red Riding Hood noticed the teeth. He asked her grandma, "Oh grandma, what a big teeth you have." Then the wolf replied, "I have big teeth to eat you better, my dear." And he jumped out of the bed. Little Red Riding Hood got scared and he cried for help. "Help! Help! Somebody help me! Wolf is attacking me!" Meanwhile, a woodcutter was walking through the village. He heard the voice of Little Red Riding Hood. He then went into grandma's house. He saw a wolf is attacking a small girl. Then the woodcutter took his axe and what did he do? The woodcutter took his axe and hit on the wolf, and he dropped the wolf away to the forest. Then the woodcutter opened the cupboard and got grandma out. And then the grandma and Little Red Riding Hood thanked the woodcutter. The grandma gave some cookies to the woodcutter. So, from this incident, what did Little Red Riding Hood learn, children? You should not talk to strangers. Always obey mother's words. So, children, what is the moral of this story? We should always listen to mother's words and should not talk to the strangers. So, children, did you all enjoy the story? Yes? See you next time.